Being that odd telescope lad in your group of friends and family, you'll most likely be required to fulfill your duties and share all that nerdy stuff that somehow only you seem to absorb. My name is Christian, that odd telescope lad. Welcome to Astronaut, and let me share some tips for channeling some of that knowledge with your group of friends and family that I have acquired along the years. After hosting several small-sized astronauts, I have learned that it's a lot better to prepare the observing gear instead of the imaging gear. Seeing the noisy and processed data on your laptop screen will not make anyone drool. Kids are the toughest juries. They will land judgment directly and it feels like a cold punch. A kid once told me that it's only spots in the sky, why bother? It will only get through a very low portion of people, but what it does, it's priceless. Hearing jaw drops or the faint gasps is sharing more than a hobby. I have seen many people crying after seeing M42 or even the moon. Setting an annual date for Astronaut is a sign of unusual optimism, at least for me in Bilbao. Windows of clear weather will most definitely not land on that date. I would suggest a week and wait for that good weather window. Unless the start party is done in a controlled environment, your place, you're trying to control everything or every unknown will drain your energy. So try to set your equipment according to your priorities, i.e. visible planets or best DSOs for observing. Leaving clear view of Polaris for your polar alignment, obviously. You don't want to set the whole thing up and realize that you can't do your polar alignment. That's if you're using an EQ mount. Once you've set the perfect spot for the tripod, leading and trying to control everything is exhausting. Share your methods and worries to the rest to drop some weight off your shoulders. Let's face it, all this gear is expensive and fragile. And if you want a job well done, you do it yourself. But learn to let go and enjoy that special night. Once you've set the base rules, we love to share this amazing hobby and encourage others to bring their gear as well. I could spend hours observing the moon. Observing it during its different phases will show different features that were hidden on the previous phases. And on top of that, using different magnifications will draw a completely different environment. And contrary to what most believe, seeing it on full phase will erase most of the surface features. So it's not the best time to observe. On the other hand, planets take a notch in difficulty. They're not always visible, and except for Venus and Jupiter, the rest are quite faint and harder to center through your viewfinder, and even harder to locate on your telescope. And if they're low on the horizon, don't even bother. Nobody will enjoy a wobbly blob that is impossible to focus. If you've already seen all moon and planets available, let's move on to the serious stuff, the DSOs. Regarding deep sky objects, what to see will depend on three things mostly. Location and season will clear many doubts. If you're observing from October to February, your target is clear. M42 directly, no doubts. It's incredible to see at any focal distance. Second, light pollution will cross off the list a huge chunk of DSOs. But I would limit my search to some impressive globular clusters and beautiful open clusters. I would say that most targets that are not suited for astrophotography are amazingly enjoyable visually. To hit an emission nebula means that you are 5 or under Bortle scale. The only slightly visible, apart from M42, is the Dumbbell Nebula, M27. And third, telescope type and size might limit what to see. A fat Dobson is the best option, and manually searching for the DSOs turns it into an entertaining game. Most of the time. Even though we enjoy the calm and quiet feeling of an astronaut, it gets lonely out there. And it's far better to share this disease with others as well. To do so, joining your local astronomy club or association is the best option. For me, living in Bilbao and being into astronomy means that I'm a masochist. I love suffering. In other words, our astronomy association currently holds 0 attendance. I thought of contacting some associations, but it didn't go through. It stayed as a thought. So instead of sharing the disease, I searched for new victims. In many cases, people will misreference astronomy for astrology. Don't let that sink in too deep. You know you're an astronomer. Be a teacher and share all your knowledge, and do it as fun as you can. Thanks for sharing, and good nights.